Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to the don'ts of visiting San Antonio. So San Antonio is in Texas. I think it's either the biggest city in Texas or it's one of the top three. I think it's San Antonio, Nashville, and God, is it? I can't remember what the other ones are, but there's, I think, three big cities in Texas. And hold on, is Nashville in Texas, or is that? Yeah, that is Texas. But yeah, it's definitely somewhere I want to visit. Like, I've heard so many good things about Texas: the food, the vibe, the culture. A lot of people are moving to Texas from the other states in the US. And Walter's World does a great job of explaining these types of videos. You know, things to do, things not to do, places to go, places maybe you shouldn't go. So I'm sure this one's going to be just as enjoyable as the other ones that I've reacted to. So let's do it.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in my favorite city in Texas, San Antonio. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting San Antonio. And my first don't for you is don't think it's just the Alamo. Okay, yes, you have to go see the Alamo when you're here. It is a must when you are.
What is the Alamo? Like, I've heard "don't forget the Alamo" before. I've heard that phrase, but what is the Alamo?
Are here in San Antonio, and it's free to go in, but also you need to know is when you go in the Alamo, remember, you don't get to take pictures when you're there, and you're like, oh no. But the thing is
why not?
Don't just see the Alamo, because you know what, when you come here, there's actually UNESCO World Heritage Site that the Alamo is a part of, and that is the San Antonio missions. And whether you're going to Mission San Juan, San Jose, Espada, Concepcion, there's all these beautiful Spanish mission churches, and some of them are more of a complex you can go to, and it is really pretty to see. And a lot of people just kind of stay in downtown, the River Walk, and go see Alamo, and they're done, and they don't realize, no, go out and see the missions when you're here, because honestly, it's one of two UNESCO things here in San Antonio. Because I always feel it's really important that you visit UNESCO World Heritage Sites when you get the chance, and you have them here in San Antonio, so don't skip out on the missions. And the thing is though, when people think of San Antonio, they just think, oh, it's conventions and the Alamo and that's it. No, there is conventions, there is the Alamo, there are the missions, but there's a lot more to see when you're here. The River Walk, the San Antonio River, goes through San Antonio, and there's a river walk.
This is really nice. It reminds me of an area quite close to me in South End. There's like a little boardwalk where there's like loads of shops. Looks like it's got a cool vibe here.
Walk they have with all kinds of bars and restaurants there on that you can go and walk and go eat at, and yes, have some great Tex-Mex and other food when you're on the Riverwalk. But for me, just walking the Riverwalk is just such a cool thing. And at night when it's lit up with all the the Christmas lights and stuff like that, it's a really kind of cool thing to do. But it's more, there's more than that here. You have the San Antonio Botanical Gardens you can go check, which is gorgeous. You got the San Antonio Zoo you can see. If you're walking around downtown, you got the San Fernando Cathedral you can go visit, and what's cool is they light it up at night some evenings, and it's just gorgeous to see with the light show that's here, because the city does a really good job of entertaining you during the day and during the night when you're here. And there's all kinds of cultural things you can do as well. I mean, I really like going to El Mercado, the market that's here. It's basically, if you have the Riverwalk and the Alamo here.
I've noticed there's a lot of Spanish sounding places in San Antonio. Why is that? Is there like a big Mexican community there, or is the history of Texas quite heavily influenced by Spanish people or Mexicans? Like, someone explain that to me, please.
Here, then you got San Fernando here, then there's the market over here. I know, first time I came to San...
Yeah, because even the name San Antonio, that means Saint Anthony, I think?
Antonio, that was my favorite thing to see. I'm like, yeah, we saw the Alamo, it was cool, but I walked into the Mercado and I'm like, this is awesome. This is so cool. All the spices you could buy. My mom was like, hey, Mark, could you buy me some stuff when you're there? I'm like, yes, Mom, for you I can. But going to El Mercado is great. And the thing is, there's more than just like the history stuff to see. There's also, like I said, the museums you can go, like San Antonio Museum of Art. You can go, and there's tons and tons of parks around town. I like Six Flags amusement parks, they have that. But there's all kinds of really fun things to do aside from the Alamo. So when you come here, make sure you go and explore. And I think that's another don't I need to talk about is don't forget to explore the neighborhoods. There's a lot of different neighborhoods around San Antonio that are worth going to see just on your own. The King William Historic District is like right over there. You walk through there, there's all these gorgeous homes you can see. You want to go have, a fun eating time, go to the...
There's a guy in like the background of Mark's video just going crazy on his horn. Just beep, beep. I know Mark knows about it, but he's trying to, like, you know, ignore it, but...
Pearl District and go check out that part. There's a lot of cool districts around town that you can actually go and visit. So get out and don't just stay in the center, okay? Go out and explore the city a bit more. And when you are exploring, don't forget to get the most important, tastiest, most wonderful, tasty treat here in San Antonio, and that is go eat those puffy tacos.
Oh.
Look, San Antonio is famous for its puffy tacos. So basically what it is, they take the tortilla and they fry it, and it puffs up, kind of like a fry bread almost. It just goes up, and then they put the meat and all the stuff inside, like there, and you fold it over. It is really the thing to have when you are in San Antonio. It's not in every Tex-Mex place. I'm not going to tell you you're going to find it everywhere, but if you can, definitely have those puffy tacos. And the thing is, the innovativeness of the puffy tacos and the other great food around town, like, oh my God, breakfast tacos. Like, San Antonio's got the bomb breakfast tacos when you come here. And yes, there's some really good shops all around town to get it. I know there's one right here that we go to that's literally 50 feet.
What's in a breakfast taco? Is that sausage, egg, bacon, stuff like that? Like sort of like a breakfast here, like a full English breakfast, but inside like a tortilla? Is that what it is?
From our rental, and so then we can just get our breakfast tacos and bring it back home and have it. Yes, you eat the breakfast tacos every morning here, and yes, put the hot sauce, put the sauce on top, the salsa, so good. And the thing is, even UNESCO has seen how important the food culture is here in San Antonio.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
It's actually a UNESCO Creative Cities of Gastronomy. So that means, like, look, we're not just, having one thing, we're trying all kinds of great stuff. So San Antonio makes a great foodie destination for anybody that wants to come here. So don't forget to bring your appetite when you're here. And I think it's important for you to know is Texas and San Antonio are really famous for Tex-Mex. And one thing I want you to know is don't think you can only get good Tex-Mex down at the Riverwalk. Now, Riverwalk, lots of tourists go by. There's all these kind of things. But if you want like a really good Tex-Mex place, yes, you can have it there. But you can explore out in the city and find other Tex-Mex places and eat up and get the queso and all the tasty deliciousness all over town. So if you're
San Antonio is known for Tex-Mex. I would have thought San Antonio would be known for like barbecue, because Texas is pretty much one of the homes of barbecue. So it's interesting to hear about the different foods that you can find in a place. All this time I've just thought Texas equals barbecue, like brisket, ribs, steak, stuff like that.
You're not sure where to go and eat or someplace close by, ask the place you're staying, ask the hotel concierge or front desk. They will definitely have their favorite Tex-Mex place for you to go to right nearby or downtown or wherever to check out. But don't think Tex-Mex is only like restricted to the Riverwalk. I know I mentioned this before, but I think it's really important, and that is don't forget to take a cruise on the Riverwalk. Now, you can cruise by walking, or you can cruise by taking a boat and have a little tour around the Riverwalk. And I'll be honest, every time we've come here to Texas, we've always come to San Antonio. And when we come to San Antonio, we always walk the Riverwalk. And we took the boys on the Riverwalk 2 days ago, and they were just like, this is really cool. I'm like, yeah, see the restaurants and the bars and the places you can just sit out and have a good time and relax, and it's outdoor seating, because let's be honest, in San Antonio, it never really gets that cold when you're here. It is just a gorgeous thing to do, but walking around, taking it in, it's just one of those things you have to have. I mean, there's even like a little theater they have on there. There's all kinds of great stuff to check out on the Riverwalk. So don't skip out on doing a cruise, whether you cruise on your feet or on the boat when you're going on the Riverwalk. Now, my next don't for you is don't feel like you have to have a beer inside in San Antonio, because they have ice houses, which are basically outdoor bars all over the city. So you can grab a cold one, sit outside with your friends, listen to music, maybe a band will play.
Can you walk around with your beer though? Like, can you walk and just sip it, or do you have to like cover it up? Like, I've seen some people like in movies where they'll like put the drink, an alcoholic drink, in a brown paper bag to hide it, and then they'll like drink it like that. Do you still have to do that?
But you just kind of sit out, drink your beer in the beautiful evenings here, and just enjoy San Antonio. But seriously, go to the ice house for a beer or two when you are here. And the thing is you're just going to go to the ice houses in the evening, because my next don't for you is don't mess around with the San Antonio heat, especially in the summer, because oh my God, it can be oppressively hot when you are here, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna die. Like, it's not just the heat, it's also the sun just beats down on you. I mean, we're here in the winter and we're sweating, we're going around. See my red face? Yeah, that's from the sun, so it's really strong. So be prepared, but especially in the summer, it can be quite hot. hot when you're here. That's why my next don't for you is don't forget about all the water attractions and all the other activities you can do when you are here. Because yes, there is a Sea World you can go and do here. There's Aquatica water park you can go to. You can head up Six Flags and have some fun there. You've got Splash Town you can go to, but honestly, if you're gonna go to a water park when you're here, you're gonna drive to New Braunfels and you're gonna go to Schlitterbahn, the #1 most amazing, spectacular.
Dang, look at that slide, man. Imagine just woo, woo.
Fantastic water park in the entire United States. Period. End of story. No one can change my mind on that. And what's cool is there's multiple sections. Well, there's 2 sections when I was there. There's like the old school water park, and then there's the new school like speed slides and stuff like that. And it's just a really awesome place to go. And yes, you can go on a water, go on the lazy river, then hop out and eat a turkey leg when you're there. It is just such a cool thing to do. So don't worry about too much about that heat, because there are a lot of things you can do, kind of take the heat away when you are here. Now, another thing I think we need to talk about, and this is in any big city in Texas, is the driving. And I think my don't for you is don't drive downtown, because you don't want to deal with the parking. Honestly, if you're going to be staying anywhere near downtown, you can walk and see the historic part, no problem. It's a very walkable downtown part of the city. But if you want to go explore the city, like you want to go to the Pearl District or King William, if you're in different parts of town, you will need to drive. But if you can, what my recommendation for you is don't drive, don't park, just Uber around town. There are buses, there's the bike rentals you can have and the scooter rentals and stuff like that. Just because it's such a pain to park downtown, and you just don't want to deal with that. So I would just say leave your car where it is and then just Uber in or do whatever to get in, because it's a lot easier and a lot less stress when you are going in town. Now, another don't I have for you.
Yeah, this is something that I've heard in like a lot of other videos for different areas in the US. Driving, parking can be a hassle, but like I imagine if you're constantly getting Ubers, like if you're getting 5 to 10 Ubers a day, that can add up, can't it? Let's say $10 or $15 average journey price. It's $150.
Is don't forget Fiesta and Rodeo. These are 2 big, huge celebrations in San Antonio that the whole city gets into. You have San Antonio Fiesta, which is basically like their version of a Mardi Gras kind of thing, because there's parties all over town. There's parades. It's just a fun, great time to go. Make sure you get a medal from the places you go to get your medal for that year, that you're there. You have that, but Fiesta is such a really vital part of the city, and it usually happens in April. So if you're here in April and you can be there for Fiesta, definitely do it. And then there's another big thing that happens in February, which is the San Antonio Rodeo. And the thing is, it's not just a rodeo when you're here. There's concerts, there's events, there's all kinds of great stuff going on during that time. So those are 2 times I say don't miss out on coming here. But if you are going to come during those times, don't forget to book early, because it does get a lot more full in those days. But what's cool is you don't have to worry too much about accommodation when you do come here to San Antonio, because it's a big convention city. So as long as there's not a huge convention here, there's usually a lot of hotel spaces when you are here. So that's kind of nice. We did have a little bit of a trouble finding like Airbnbs and VRBOs right in the historic district. So we're actually staying out, we're by King William, so we're staying out that far, but it's still easy to walk into town, 20 minutes, no big deal. But just something to think about when you're coming here. All these things make you love San Antonio more, with all the things going on and all the wonderful food. And that's why I feel bad giving this don't. And that is, don't think you just have to stay in San Antonio. There are some really...
Austin. That's the other place I was thinking about. So there's Austin, San Antonio, and Nashville. Those are the 3 big cities in Texas, right? I think.
Good day trips you can do from San Antonio, or a couple day trips to do when you're here. Yesterday we went
Houston.
to Fredericksburg, which is the home of the hill country here in Texas. And Fredericksburg has got a lot of German immigration, so there's a lot of German restaurants, German vibe to it. During Christmas time, they do this city up. It's a really fun place to go. The the National Museum of the Pacific War is actually there. There's a Pioneer Museum there you can check out. It's a really cute town, and it's in hill country, which is really gorgeous. And you know what else is in hill country? The wineries. Yeah, so you can go to some of the nice wineries out there as well. So you have those day trips you can do. Or you can go to a bigger city. You can go to Austin, the capital. You can go to the LBJ Presidential Museum. Go in South Congress and see the shops there. Go on to Rainey Street and see the bars that are made out of old houses. I mean, it's a really cool place to be. The music in Austin as well. The capital, there's all kinds of good museums to see there as well. So that makes...
Nice looking skyline.
It's a good day trip. And of course, if you're going to be driving to Austin, you should stop in New Braunfels, yes, for Schlitterbahn. But also, there's a really great Buc-ee's on the way to pick up all your Buc-ee's gear when you're here. Because honestly, did you go to Texas if you didn't hit up Buc-ee's? I mean, there is that. So I hope this helps you know a bit more of what to see and do. And
really interesting.
don't do, but to do when you do come here to San Antonio, because we've always loved our time here, and we hope you do too. So
San Antonio definitely is a place that I'm going to visit, just because of the San Antonio, oh God, what's the basketball team? Hold on, I'm gonna have to look this up. Give me a second. San Antonio Spurs. Yeah. Like with had Tim Duncan on it, had Paul Parker at one point as well. Like here in Europe, like the San Antonio Spurs were like a really huge team. But yeah, the food as well, the vibe. I'm definitely gonna visit for sure. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.